Hello everyone, I'm Akshay Pondre and I'm a PhD student under Dr. Chris Richmond at Arizona State University. The topic of today's presentation is a derived result on the asymptotic distribution of the GLRT statistic under model misspecification. I'll begin with a composite overview of the composite hypothesis testing framework, followed by which I'll talk about our main result, which is the asymptotic distribution of the GLRT statistic. Next, I'll use this derived result to show an example of target detection in a joint radar communications environment. Consider the simple problem of radar target detection, where this airborne radar transmits some signal vector S and receives a signal alpha times S, which has bounced off this target, where alpha is the channel gain parameter. At the receiver, there's some presence of an additive white Gaussian noise vector, which is zero mean and variance sigma squared. So when no target is present under the null hypothesis H0, the received signal X just consists of the noise vector N, and the distribution of X under H0 is same as that of the noise. When the target is present under the alternative hypothesis H1, X also consists of this reflected signal component. So the distribution of X under H1 is given by this Gaussian with mean alpha times S. Now, based on this received signal X, a goal is to determine which of these two distributions does X actually follow. Now, note that in a practical scenario, we might not know the actual value of alpha. We just know that alpha is some non-zero value. Whereas we can say for sure that the null hypothesis can be characterized by alpha taking a value of 0. So this null distribution under H0 is completely known with alpha equal to 0. Apart from the noise variance, and whereas this distribution under H1 can be represented by a number of distributions corresponding to alpha not equal to 0. So such a situation where this parameter vector theta, which consists of alpha and the noise variance sigma squared, is just partially known under H0. Such a problem is known as composite hypothesis testing problem. So more formally, if we have some measured data vector X belonging to Rn, and this is a hypothesis test where H0 has alpha equal to 0 and H1 corresponds to alpha taking a non-zero value. Now note that alpha is the parameter which has some distinct change between the two hypotheses, whereas this noise variance sigma squared is same under the both hypotheses. So if we have some parameter vector theta belonging to p-dimensional space, we can partition this vector into two vectors, theta r and theta s, where theta r is a r-dimensional vector and theta s is an s-dimensional vector. So theta r is known as the essential parameter, which experiences a distinct change between the two hypotheses, which in this case is the parameter alpha. And the value of this theta r is completely known under the null hypothesis. And we refer to this known value as theta r naught, which in our case was this value 0. So, and theta s is known as the nuisance parameter, which can remain the same for both hypotheses, which in our example was this noise variance sigma squared. So our hypothesis test now just becomes under H0, theta r takes this known value theta r naught, and under H1, theta r can take any value apart from this theta r naught, whereas theta s can remain same under both hypotheses. So the value of theta under the hypothesis is theta naught given by this form, and X follows this distribution under H0, which depends on this parameter theta naught. Similarly, X follows this distribution under H1 depending on theta 1. So a popular test which is used for this problem is the generalized likelihood ratio test, which decides that H1 is true if this GLRT statistic given by this quantity is greater than some threshold, which is determined using a false alarm constraint, gamma. So this hat notation denotes the maximum likelihood estimate. So theta hat is the maximum likelihood estimate of theta, which is given by this expression. So here theta 1 hat and theta naught hat denote the ML estimates of theta 1 and theta naught. Now note that theta r naught is completely known. So when we actually substitute this over here, we do not need to estimate theta r naught. So this is the expression for the GLRT statistic. So generally we are interested in knowing the distribution of this quantity L of X, which is the log of this GLRT statistic, which is given by this expression. So I'll now talk about the asymptotic distribution of this L of X. So this is a well-known result which states that the asymptotic distribution of L of X, so, and asymptotic means that the dimensionality of vector X tends to infinity or the SNR grows very large. So this distribution of L of X under the null hypothesis is a central chi-squared random variable, and under the alternative hypothesis is a non-central chi-squared random variable with r degrees of freedom, where r is the dimensionality of our essential parameter, and this non-centrality parameter theta is given by this expression, where this matrices J1 to J4 are partitions of the Fisher information matrix J of theta, which and the elements of J of theta are given by this expression, where expectation is with respect to this distribution P. Now, this result is for the case when this assumed distribution P is correct, is represent and it represents a true model. Now we are interested in the case when this is not the case. So what is model misspecification? Generally, in a detection or estimation problem, we assume a family of distributions on X, which are parameterized by theta, where theta corresponds to different members of this family. Now, a situation might arise where the true distribution Q of X is completely different from any distribution which a family can follow. So such a such a scenario where the true distribution and the assumed model are completely different is known as model misspecification. Now, note that there might be a value of theta which can get closest to the true distribution, and that value we call as theta A. It is known as the pseudo-true parameter, and it is mathematically the value of theta which minimizes the KL divergence between the true and the assumed distributions. So under model misspecification, we have these two distributions. The assumed one is P and the true distribution is Q of X, and theta A is the pseudo-true parameter. Now there are some important quantities which need to be defined. First one is the sandwich covariance matrix sigma, which is named so because this matrix J is sandwiched between these two C inverse matrices, where J is the misspecified Fisher information matrix, where every element is given by this expression. This is the same as that of the Fisher information matrix we saw earlier, except the expectation here with respect to the true distribution Q. And the matrix C is given by this expression, which is the average Hessian matrix. Now, note that if the true model is known and correct, this J of theta is just becomes the negative of C of theta, and the sandwich covariance matrix just reduces to negative of C inverse. Now, this is the main result of the paper, the asymptotic distribution of L of X under model misspecification. So this says that the distribution under hypothesis HI is given by a linear combination of independent non-central chi-squared random variables with 1 degrees of freedom. Now note that this form of the distribution holds for both H0 and H1, where these coefficients of the linear combination are given lambda 1 to lambda r are the eigenvalues of this matrix K, where K depends on these two matrices M and CR, and where M is the upper R by R block of the sandwich covariance matrix and CR is the upper R by R block of this C inverse matrix. Now, there are some more quantities which need to be defined. Theta AI is the pseudo-true parameter when hypothesis HI is true, which is partitioned in the usual way. And we define this quantity delta theta I, which is the difference between this theta R AI and this known quantity theta R. Q is the eigenvector matrix of this matrix K of theta AI. So using this, we can compute these non-centrality parameters delta 1 to delta R, which delta J is, so this quantity inside the brackets is just a vector, and delta J is given by the jth element of this vector squared. So thus we have these delta J's and lambda J's, so we can compute this distribution. Now note that Uh, when the true model is known, the sandwich covariance just becomes the negative of C inverse. So M and CR just become negatives of each other, which results in K of theta becoming an identity matrix. So its eigenvalues all reduce to unity. So this linear combination just collapses to a single chi-square random variable with r degrees of freedom. And so this was the result which we had seen earlier. So relation to previous work, the asymptotic distribution under when the true model is known follows a central chi-square distribution with r degrees of freedom under h0 and a non-central distribution under h1. Under model misspecification, and the distribution under h0 is given by a linear combination of central chi-square random variables with 1 degree of freedom. Relating all this to our present work is that our distribution is is a linear combination of non-central chi-squared random variables which are independent, and this is the most general form of the distribution. It is valid under h0 as well as h1. So I'll now use this result in a cooperative radar communications example. So this is the joint radar communications data model where this we have this radar target situated at an angle of arrival phi t and has having channel gain alpha t. Similarly, this communication source has an angle of arrival phi 1 and it transmits training symbols s1 of t where t is this discrete time index. And note that these are training symbols, so they are completely known, and alpha 1 is the channel gain parameter. X1 is the received signal at time t at this first sensor, and we are assuming a 5-element uniform linear array at the receiver. So just stacking all of these received signals in one vector, we get the received signal x of t. And we assume presence of complex Gaussian noise with covariance r. So note that we are assuming that the model is flat fading where alpha 1 is constant, it doesn't change with time. So under this assumption, we have a received signal vector x of t, which is given by this expression, where a denotes the steering vector. So this is the communications component, and this is the radar component, and this is the noise. So as we've seen earlier, presence of target depends only on this radar channel gain parameter, alpha t, so which we denote as theta r, and we have our parameter vector. Now, since we are interested in this model misspecification, the misspecification which we consider is that of a dynamic communications channel, which is assumed to be static. So this means that according to assumed model, these communication channel gains are constant, whereas according to the true model, we allow them to be time varying, which can take any different value for these different time indices. So this gives us different distributions p of x, which is assumed, and the true distribution q of x. So based on this, we can compute the pseudo-true parameter theta a, which is given by this expression. Note that these here are shown to be complex parameters, but we can use our previous analysis by considering the real and imaginary parts as separate parameters. So this was a data model. Our assumed model was alpha 1 constant, and the true model, we allow the magnitude of the channel gain to remain unity, whereas we allow the phase uh, to change 4 times throughout the collection interval, where these intervals are uniformly divided. So under this, we have plotted the asymptotic Rock performance of the target of the radar receiver, where this vertical axis contains the probability of detection and the horizontal axis contains the target SNR, where the probability of false alarm and comms SNR are fixed to these values. So these three curves are plotted for different values of these time capital T, which are the number of training symbols. And we see that as they increase, the detection performance improves. So one of the reasons this happens is that as the this as we increase this time interval T, the interval over which these values remain constant increases. So they more accurately, so the assumed model more accurately represents the true model. So this results in improvement of the performance. Summarizing, we have derived the asymptotic distribution of the GLRT and the model misspecification. which takes the general form of linear combination of independent non-central chi-squared random variables. This includes both the hypotheses. We used this result in a cooperative radar communications example, which gave the ROC performance of the radar target detector for time-varying communications channels, which were assumed to be constant. So such analysis can be useful for capturing dominant effects in a congested environment where the misspecification can be used so that we can consider a simple model. Thank you.